Hey guys, thank you for stopping by my channel today. I am going to show you how I got ready and came up with this look today. My primary focus was using the Modern Renaissance Palette by Anastasia, which I really like and I comment about as I'm getting ready. By the way, thank you so much for all of the recommendations that you guys gave me after last week's video when I asked you for help on my nighttime moisturizer situation. I have a full-on list. I don't know where to start, but I'm eager to try them all. So thank you so much for taking the time to let me know what has worked for you. Also, I am finally going to put it out there that I am on Snapchat. Honestly, I really feel like I cannot be that interesting to show you snippets of my life every day, but my sister-in-law, hi Aunt, gave me a lesson on a boat over the 4th of July weekend on what Snapchat is all about and how to do it, how to use it. I swear, if I was younger, like, you know, late teens, early 20s, I would have looked at me and I would have been like, you don't know what Snapchat is? Would you come on and get with it? Because I didn't know what Snapchat was. I mean, I knew what it was. I had no idea how to use it. And I'm like, that is not normal to me. I'm always on the up and up. So I got a lesson. I've posted a little bit as practice, and I thought I would continue doing that until I realized I feel like I'm showing videos to myself and talking to myself. So tolerate me, please. In the beginning, my Snapchat is my name, same as my YouTube channel, Gina Creone. And so if you really just want to laugh with me, because that's really what I'm going to be trying to do over there, but also talk about beauty, then definitely go check me out on Snapchat, and I hope I don't mess it up. So if you're interested in seeing this look that I created with me, then just keep watching. All right, so let's get started. I've already curled my eyelashes and put the moisturizer on my face, and clearly this face needs some assistance today because she's tired, she's splotchy, she's just very grumpy. So first I'm gonna start and prime my face with the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm. I find that this is just a generic, all over generic, really good, kind of does everything, sets your face up ready for foundation, doesn't address any major concern, but just kind of just very nicely just get your face ready. Get your face ready. And just in case you were curious, despite the fact that I applied very light pressure when applying the post-shave balm, which is meant for sensitive skin, by the way, this would be the color that my face would also look if I were to attempt to do 100 push-ups in a row in less than a minute. Apparently, my face looks like it exerts a lot of energy in order to receive a face primer. So I'm going to be using the Morphe M439 brush, which is just a user-friendly, I don't know, I default to it a lot. I save the Artiste brush for when I'm using a heavier foundation, like my Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation Concentrate. I will be using today the Maybelline Dream Velvet Matte Hydrating Foundation, which I just love using in the summer because it gives me coverage, but isn't too heavy, isn't too just kind of nasty as your face begins to get rid of some of the sweat that it's got building and sitting underneath your skin. That sounded awful. By the way, I am in the shade 15, which is really just awful and pitiful because my skin is so light, even though it's the middle of the summer, but I don't care. I'm okay with it. So that evened me out pretty nicely. It's a hair light, but anything darker and it becomes awful town. I'm gonna get rid of the pasty white now that is on my lips with the Sephora Oil Infusion Lip Gloss. So I'm gonna go in with some under eye concealer, and today I'm using by Maybelline the Master Conceal Concealer, and it comes in this little tube that doesn't have a doe foot applicator, which I don't like. And so I typically will apply the concealer directly to the brush out of this little tubey guy, because when I try to put it like on my face, it just winds up going everywhere. I like this concealer because it's a little bit thinner than, you know, my favorite, my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's a little bit thinner, a little bit, almost a little bit oilier. I find that it works out much better for the hotter temperatures. So I'm gonna do a little bit of setting, just a little bit, because we don't wanna go over, because it's not gonna, if I set it now, it is not gonna last that way through the end of the day. So very strategically, I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Airbrush Silk Pressed Finishing Powder, and I'm going to use it in only specific locations if I can get it open. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild flat top, normally pink on the top, vegan, very inexpensive drugstore brush, which I love. And I'm going to just very strategically apply the setting powder where I get the oiliest. I get oily all over, but we're not gonna put it everywhere. I'm gonna just strategically put it where I get the oiliest, using this flat top brush, and just kind of dab it in. I'm gonna take the same powder, but I'm gonna use a different brush, the Morphe M438 brush. I'm gonna use it to just ever so slightly set underneath my eyes as well, without poking myself directly in the eyeball. So I do just want to illuminate this all up, because again, don't fight it. I'm going to be shiny before the end of the day. I'm gonna use the Hourglass Ambient lighting powders to kind of set my face overall. I'm gonna use Diffused light, which is kind of the yellowish, that looks like straight up white, but it's actually the yellowish toned one. And I'm just gonna kind of lightly dust it all over. It sets my makeup, but then also just doesn't mattify me out, because that ain't gonna stay that way. Woo! Is that not the happiest brush ever? This is also by It Cosmetics. I'm gonna take that same under eye setting brush, the Morphe M438, and I'm gonna concentrate some of that Hourglass powder underneath my eye a little bit, just so that I appear to, you know, naturally glisten, because isn't that what we're looking for every day? A natural glisten. So like I said in the intro, I want to use the Anastasia Modern Renaissance shadow palette today. I'm always impressed with her shadows overall, her individual pans, as well as the palettes that she's released in the past. And so I decided I kind of want to go for just like kind of a warmish sort of look. By the way, the couple of cranberries in here, make sure you practice with those first, because you could look like you just got into a fight if you're not used to using a cranberry or wine colored shadow. So we're not going for those today. So I'm gonna start with the shade called Raw Sienna all the way on the end. I've got a big old fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M505, and this is gonna be my transition crease shade. Whoa, it's pigmented. Blend, people. Blend. I'm going to take a much smaller crease brush. This is the M433, and I'm going to take, there's a little bit of powder pickup. I'm going to take this shadow all the way on the end, which is kind of just like an orangey shadow. It's called Realgar. I was a straight A student and I don't know what that word means. Anyway, I'm going to take just a light bit of powder, and I'm going to deepen up the outer crease just a little bit, because clearly these shadows are very pigmented. Oh yeah, that's major. Now I'm going to take a very tiny Makeup Geek brush. This is the small crease brush, and I'm going to apply this shade called Red Ochre, which is almost dead center. It's a really pretty red brown, so it's not like this major cranberry that's going on in here. So I'm going to take this tiny brush, and I'm going to go under my crease on the outer corner just a little bit. I do not want to go into my crease because I've already got a lot going on up there. So I decided the other day that I was going to ram my toe into my bed frame. And right now, it was a little baby toe too. Right now that toe is actually the most gorgeous shade of purple. I wish I had a shadow that color. It was kind of hilarious because I turned around and looked at my bed as if to say, how dare you? How dare you stay immobile yet try to take out my tiny baby toe? And it was a little painful, but thank God it's the summertime and I can wear flip-flops and open-toed shoes, because I think if I had to jam it into a shoe right now, that little baby toe would cry. So for on my lid, I'm going to take a MAC 230 brush, which is a really nice eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go into the shade called Burnt Orange, and I'm going to apply this guy first to my lid. So it is a matte kind of peachy orange, but I do want to doll it up a little bit. I don't want it to stay so matte. So using the exact same brush, I'm going to take the shade right next door called Primavera, and I'm going to very, very lightly dust it over the burnt orange. So to keep the shade of the burnt orange, but just to kind of add a little bit of almost like a translucent shimmer to it, just to add a little bit of dimension. I'm going to take another MAC brush, the 242, and I'm going to go into this color called Tempera. I don't know. It's a very pale kind of peachy pink. Sounds like I'm talking about a lipstick. I'm gonna highlight under my brow. I am gonna go back into that shade Primavera, which I used to glisten up my lid color. I'm going to now go in very strong with that color Primavera, and I'm gonna apply it to the inner corner of my eyes. So like I said, really great palette, a little bit of powder pickup, very intensely pigmented, but again, just super, really good quality coming from Anastasia, but that's kind of what we're used to now. So I'm gonna finish up my eyes right now, and L'Oreal is apparently going to help me do that. I didn't even realize when I was picking up my products today that L'Oreal is making a showing today. I'm gonna start with the 12-hour Infallible, the super slim liquid eyeliner. And so this guy is just one of those pens similar to the Kat Von D and all the other lines that are out there. I am just gonna apply a little bit of black eyeliner to the outer edges of my lashes. L'Oreal is gonna help me with my brows as well with the Brow Stylist Plumper. This is that brow gel mascara, so it adds a little bit of color. I'm actually going in with the liquid brow product first. Because what I want to do is I just want to get them in shape. I just want to kind of fill in just a little bit where they're thin with just the lightness of the gel. But now that I've done that with the brow gel mascara, I'm going to take another brow product by L'Oreal. It is the Brow Stylist Definer. This is in brunette. And so there are just a couple places now that the brow gel mascara couldn't handle on its own. And so this just makes my process so much easier than going in with the pencil and then following up with the brow gel mascara. I can just find those little holes that a brow gel mascara had no hope of dealing with. And now I'm gonna clean it up with the brush. I know, right? You're supposed to do it the other way first. But come on, people. Every once in a while, you gotta buck the curve. You gotta do what works for you. And now I've got natural, non-worm-like looking brows. L'Oreal, again, the telescopic carbon black mascara. I always lengthen my lashes first. So I'm going to pretend that I haven't already lined my eyes underneath and the camera wasn't recording, and I'm just going to pretend that I haven't done it yet, and I'm going to line my eyes with the MAC Cosmetics eyeliner in the shade Teddy. And sometimes I like using a shadow, other times I like using a liner. I think the liner gives you a more narrow line, whereas a shadow will be a hair bit smoky. And sometimes I just find that a liner is so much easier than trying to deal with the shadow and make sure that the shadow doesn't like land on your cheek. I also took that same L'Oreal telescopic mascara and applied mascara to my lower lashes. Sometimes I use the MAC Giga Black lash mascara, but I find that this one doesn't give me under eye problems either, and it's subtle enough and the wand is tiny enough where you can absolutely do a pretty good job. Onto the face, the last finishing stages, I caved. I could not stop hearing everybody talk about the new Too Faced like Sweethearts bronzer, the Baked Luminous Glow bronzer. It's got shimmer, which back in the day used to be taboo on YouTube. You were not supposed to have a shimmery bronzer. And then it became, well, you can have a little bit of shimmer. Now, I mean, this guy's got some reflection, but really, how freaking cute is that? So this is actually like a surprise, like built-in first impression, because I haven't tried it yet. So we're just gonna see how it goes. I hope it goes well. I had forgotten that I had ordered it when I placed an order for curtains on jcpenney.com. I needed to get my free shipping quota. And so I was like, oh, well, let me add a bronzer, you know, because of Sephora within. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. You can kind of tell right away with a bronzer whether or not you're going to like it. Oh, yum. Oh, sweetheart. You do nice things for me. Holy cow. Anyway, so a box shows up from Sephora, and I'm like, I didn't buy anything from Sephora. I'm like, have I been doing like secret midnight still asleep shopping and I ordered something from Sephora and I don't even remember? But when you order from JCPenney, it actually ships out from Sephora. Can you imagine? Does anybody do that? They like get up in the middle of the night and online shop and don't even remember. Come the next morning and then suddenly boxes start arriving. That's awesome. Okay, so since that foundation was a little bit light, as I said before, we're going to warm her up and just get some bronzer kind of everywhere and look like I'm not pasty white, even though you and I both know the truth. Just kind of bronze everywhere. I was not trying to bronze my upper lip. There was a hair from the brush. This is the Bobbi Brown bronzing brush, and they've talked about how the hairs kind of stick to you. And it stuck to my top lip like a mustache. And now, did I apply bronzer there? I hope I didn't apply bronzer there. But you know what? Sometimes that happens. You just roll with it. So I'm gonna highlight, and I've got the Becca Jaclyn Hill new face palette out, and I'm gonna try the Prosecco bronzer, which is the slightly more gold. It actually just looks like normal champagne to me. Like this is not champagne. Champagne is not pink. This is champagne to me, but she calls it Prosecco. And you know, it's by Becca. It's a gorgeous highlight. I try not to overdo it that I didn't do anything there. Did I do anything there? I'm so afraid to pick up too much that apparently I really didn't pick up any. And here we go. Now I'm gonna do too much. It's really subtle, actually. I think Champagne Pop sometimes shows up a little bit too much. And this guy, he shows up pretty subtle. By the way, I'm using the Anastasia A23 highlighting brush because I think it's the best highlighting brush ever. But she doesn't hold a grudge. She works well with other brands. Okay, so I've got a blush still. I mentioned I've really been liking the Cheek Pops by Clinique. This is Peach Pop. And I still find I have to go subtle. I don't like too much blush. I don't know. I dab in the container and then I dab on me. So my hand is nice and blushed, but I want to make sure my cheeks are not too blushed. Oh, see, already that looks like too much. Is that too much? I'm gonna take my M501 brush and dust away whatever fallout might have been underneath my eye, and also clean up on the outer portion of my eye in case I went a little too far. I've tried using like the Post-it notes and the tape, you know, to create the nice line. I just have like a line, and that blending process is just too much for me. So, you know, sometimes my eyeshadow goes a little bit past my brow, and so you just clean it up a little bit, and then you just dust off whatever. It's my duster brush. I'm just gonna go real light on my lips because I find I'm drinking a ton of water and I cannot maintain an appropriate sharp lip. So I got by NYX these Plush Gel lipsticks. It doesn't have a name. It calls it number 12. I don't know, but it's just a nice, just kind of peachy pink, as is usual for my repertoire. I am going to now set my makeup with the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray, because although we don't want to look completely chalky matte, I'm going to need all the help I can get to survive the 93-degree weather that's outside right now. Keep your eyebrows up. Don't scrunch anything, because then you will transfer mascara or brow gel or something to another location on your face. You don't want to do that. So that is my somewhat chatty get ready with me using the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. I hope that you liked the look that I created, but just remember, whatever you wind up creating, just make sure that you like it and that you're comfortable in it, because that's what will sell it, and that's what will also make you look the most fabulous. Please hit my logo, which is sitting in one of these two corners. I don't know which one, but that will let you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, if you like this video and want to see more like it, then definitely give it a thumbs up. Thanks again for spending this time with me. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And in the meantime, thanks.
Which I just love using in the summer because it gives me, I look healthy. I don't look like I haven't eaten in 3 days. Although you will never imagine that from me, that I haven't eaten in 3 days because my body, what am I talking about? I'm gonna go into my brows right now. I'm gonna use the Brow Stylist Plumper, also by LOreal. So thanks so much for taking the time to let me know what has worked for you, because I need something real bad at night. That sounded awful. Hey guys, thank you for something. How many times have I said that? And I don't know how to say it today. It might be because it's so warm in here right now.